Is to record to cloud. So, all right, you ready? Okay. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Entrepreneurs Live Show. My name is Jeff Bonanno. I'm your host today for today's show. And with me today is the amazing Tasha, also known as Miss Kiff. She is the founder of the Kiff Media Hub, female entrepreneur, media developer, business coach, and so much more. Thank you so much for being here, Tasha. It's a pleasure to have you on this show.
Thank you so much, Jeff. It's lovely to be here too.
Great. So Tasha, the reason we have you here with us today on this episode is because we really want to talk about what you do and how you get others involved in being entrepreneurs. And so let's start off a little bit about telling the listeners what you do, who you are.
Thank you so much, Jeff. My name is Tasha, but I'm very well known for Miss Kiff. And like Jeff said already, I'm a female entrepreneur and a social media strategist and media developer. So I love to find analytical and creative ways to monetize your business online. And the reason why I was drawn to this is just I really hated my job for many years. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a DJ and a producer and travel around the world, and that's where Miss Kiff comes from, actually. Um, and unfortunately, the DJ producing world crashed, obviously, with COVID. And luckily for me, I'm a woman of many talents, and I just was hooked on how people can make money at home. And I was hooked on the lifestyle, because the 9 to 5 journey just wasn't serving me at whatsoever. I remember at the age of 24, I was just like, I don't think I can be here. This sucks. Is this it? Is this life? Like, is this where we peak and then that's it? And I feel like that kind of curiosity led me into my business now. And I want to kind of invite entrepreneurs and bring the awareness through my business of, look, you can make money online and you can do what you love. So I know you can make money online by doing a lot of strategies that involve stuff that you don't, not even interested in. That's not who I am. I see your creative talent, because obviously my background is DJing, and that's creative in its own way, and audio production. So this is why I developed Kiff Media Hub. So media is the umbrella of audio and video plus media development, which is strategies. So Kiff Media Hub is my membership portal, which I'm building up. And this is to teach you everything about getting yourself organized, podcasting, blogging, YouTube strategies, video editing. So when you decide to embark on the journey, so say for instance, you're a photographer and you want to, and a videographer, and you really want to get yourself online, but you don't particularly know how to do it. I give you not just the skills to strategize, but I give you the creative ways to be clearer, and also give you the video skills so that you can go online and be better at what you do. As on my journey, it took me a long time. I did the research for you so that you can just have everything, a toolkit to jump on board. I definitely I would spend 3 hours just researching for fun how to do this, how to do that. And it was just, I reflected back, and it was literally 5 years of just research for fun, which led me here.
Wow.
So yeah.
So you've spent a little time in this then, obviously, yes. Um, and ladies and gentlemen, I really wanted to point out that Miss Kiff is legit. And you'll go online, especially like in Facebook or something like that, and you will actually see a lot of people like you want to earn money fast, and you want to um, get as many followers as possible. Just click here and it will happen for you. And we see a lot of those scams all over the internet. How do you differentiate yourself from those groups of people so that they understand that you are not a scam, you are legit here?
Through myself, really. Like that's why I've got Miss Kiff alongside Kiff Media Hub, because I didn't want to be a scammer. As soon as the social dilemma came out, I was like, oh no, that puts me in a box of she just wants to take my money. So I put out a YouTube video explaining myself and talking about, look here, this is yes, there is a way of social media that is crazy, but there's also people like me who want to help you have a better life. And I actually differentiate myself by my YouTube channel. If you watch my YouTube channel, Miss Kiff, you can find it. I talk a lot about digital hacks, but what I do is I vlog. I do a daily vlog, but I only post that weekly. And that's every Sunday, so that you can kind of see, like, look, yeah, I'm an ordinary person living my life, also doing the real hustle like you, wanting to get to a level of financial freedom, making my own rules, which I'm kind of making I've been making my rules since I got born, to be fair. But it's just kind of like just being more free and living life to the fullest. So for me, definitely it's about me as a personal brand. And what I do as well, actually, I've decided to start a Facebook group, which I give all loads of free content. So if you still like, actually, Taja or Miss Kiv, who are you, girl? I don't know what you're about. You can go to my Facebook group. It's Kiff Media Creators and Entrepreneurs, and it's free. You can find it in. I'll link it on. Well, it's already on my YouTube channel, but basically you could just come here and look around and see, go through the units. And that's a great way for you to start as an entrepreneur, because I don't want to just sell you. I want to make sure that you know that there's a few steps to take, and it's quite a lot of work, but you need to make sure you get those first steps in place before you decide to buy a module or decide to buy anything or investing in it. Because if you don't even know what your talent is or your niche is, then you're just going to be spending money and getting nowhere.
That's very true, and you could be easily spinning your wheels, and money goes right out the window when you're doing that. Speaking of free, in a little bit, I'm going to ask you if you're willing to share some free tips with our listeners. But before we get into that, I want to dive more into who you are and some of the challenges that you've actually encountered, especially with COVID being a historic thing that happened last year. It affected people worldwide. How did that change the way you look at all of this, um, compared to what you maybe were planning on before COVID hit?
Well, yeah, I will definitely. Such a great question. So last year, actually, I was finishing a degree in audio production because, as I said, I really wanted to be a producer. I was DJing since 2011, and the dream was to be able to kind of leave England for a little bit to go travel in Asia and Australia to DJ, play my music, live the life, teach yoga. And that's one of my other hustlers is I'm a yoga teacher too. And I love being spiritual. Trust me, the more you get to know me, I'm like an onion. I just keep living, keep peeling off layers. But basically, that was the dream. And the thing is, last year I was in trial mode. I was in very much, I hate my life. I want to change it. And I don't know where to do, where to go, how to be. And I actually fell into a massive depression last year, to be honest. And I was selling like some bath bombs, homemade bath bombs, being super hustler on my side gig, working 3 days a week at a job that I hated, and just getting through university, to be honest. Because prior to that, I had a yoga business, but my personal life happened and I lost everything. So I had to start all over again. So that's why I went into my degree. And then in about July last year, Obviously the whole COVID thing happened, so like life was on a massive spin. But in July last year, I had a friend contact me, Andrew Range, and he was like, Tasha, do you want to there's this really cool Explore Protect group happening, do you want to get on board to teach some social media or strategies? I know you're like a YouTube guru, because in the background, I was hustling, like helping friends. I've helped so many friends, like leverage themselves online. And I didn't realize I had this talent, to be honest with you. I was like, everything I found out, because with my yoga business, I wanted to be online and do all those things. So I was kind of figuring out as I go, did a really cool course, and helped Andrew even. I was like, oh my goodness, you must do this and this and this and that. Like, if you meet me and you sit down with me and I hear there's a problem, I'm like, oh my gosh, try this, which is awesome. But anyway, that's kind of just give you a bit more context of that. So Andrew told me about this for Protec, and then I was like, actually, I do know a lot. Sure, let's do it. So I got into a course of teaching female entrepreneurs, and it's called Fempreneur course. I had the best time. I met the best people with Explore Protec, and then from Protec also kind of launched at the same time, and then we were doing networking groups. And then I was like, oh my goodness, I should have like because I was teaching personal branding and social media stuff, I decided to relaunch Kiff Media UK, it was called in the beginning. um, that's something that I tried to launch in 2018, but it wasn't successful because I wasn't in the right place, let's put it that way. But then I got to launch that, but I was just making it up. I was going, like in a way of I didn't know my direction of it, and that's then in September last year I lost my job, and I was going to be homeless. So I was
Oh,
like,
wow.
oh my goodness, like this year it just keeps giving me, and I had to literally sell everything and move to South Africa and kind of still carry my journey. And what's amazing is that it was the best thing that could ever happen to me. Like, COVID was a blessing in disguise, even though, yes, of course, there's a lot of negativity with it. But for me personally, it shifted me into gear to live my full potential. And it really pushed me in circumstances where it's like you either hustle out of it or you crumble. And to be honest with you, it's made me, because now I'm in a position where I'm not paying rent. I'm actually living with my parent, like my dad. And it's quite funny where I've not been in South Africa for over 13 years. And yes, I'm originally from South Africa, but I lived in London. um, but it's like I haven't been here with my parents, and do you know what's great is that I get to spend time with my family, which is something of my values that needed to happen. But what's great is now I'm in a space where I've got like not just looking at London four walls, struggling, how am I going to buy food for the next week? I'm in a position now where I can solely focus on my business. And it's really transformed me since July last year to now. I have, I must admit that it's been the best transformation for my business, because now I know the correct strategies to teach you, because I've gone through it and I've hustled through it. And I can also relate to entrepreneurs with COVID going, I also lost my job. I also became homeless, and I actually received $130 2 days ago from affiliate marketing, and I was just
Wow.
like, hallelujah, thank you so much, because it was just for me, my micro wins is everything to me right now. And yeah, it's really, really, yeah, that's COVID put me in the deep end, and I decided to swim like a champ,
That's
basically.
that's amazing. And since you've had that experience of being in both locations during this period, okay, so I got to ask you, what what area is the UK or is South Africa easier for entrepreneurs to start growing, just from your experience?
England.
England.
South Africa, firstly, Wi-Fi sucks here. Okay, it's an issue. Okay, to be a digital nomad in South Africa, you have to make like uh, five times internet boosters. Maybe put in your own cable.
Oh,
But
wow.
um, jokes aside, I definitely think England's better because you can make a pound quicker. And what I mean by that as well is living and working in England is far better than living and working in South Africa. People get like the minimum wage here in comparison. The minimum wage in South Africa is 20 Rand an hour, which is a pound an hour. Okay.
Hmm.
In England, it's about £8 an hour. Okay.
Wow.
Now, rent and stuff on top of that, South Africa is most of the prices here is, at the level of what I pay in England, sometimes more even expensive. I'm like, I came here, I'm like, what is England prices doing here? This is crazy. And this is why I kind of made the decision at the age of 18 to take a one-way ticket to England, because I was like, I can't live here. I can't live here because it's not feasible to pay rent, to drive a car, and a car's three times more expensive as well. It's really hectic. But because of social media and because of the movement of life, I must admit, do you know what was very transformational for me to come back here to see how like incredible it's taken off in terms of the digital space. My friends are, so I've got actually one of my best friends that I went to school with. She's actually did in digital marketing too, which we're in the same career. And like she's
Nice.
a Facebook guru. So I go, hey, come on, girl, give me your Facebook tips. And vice versa, you know. But it's great to see how it's creating an opportunity, and especially with this COVID now. And this is another reason why I was very much drawn to come back here is I wanted to help out South Africans, especially to see like, you can make more money. Like you don't have to work for the rand. You can work for something else, that's better. And it can give you a little bit more financial security than what you are slaving for here. Because people are being slaves here. And that's no doubt. So I definitely there's a lot of opportunities coming up that I'm kind of being organic with the situation. Um, I want to give, but I haven't decided how yet. And actually, I'm working with Deborah, who's also an entrepreneur and with Explore Protect as well. We are collaborating as she's teaching. She works with organizations in Durban, KwaZulu Natal, which is like up the east coast of South Africa, and she teaches. Think about like youth groups, and it's all obviously charity work. And what's great is an opportunity have represented itself where I get to work, because I said to him, like, what can I give? I've got all these like this knowledge and stuff like this. How can I give back to South Africa? And she I can't really announce this yet, but I'm going to announce a little bit yet because it's still an organization process.
I won't tell anyone.
But it is the it's called Banduka, and it's basically helping the youth with themselves, but also in media development. So whether it's video, audio, or strategies online. So it's basically a great way to help incentivize the youth that there is opportunities other than, COVID hasn't killed everything. Basically, there is still opportunities, and I really, fingers crossed, I hope to foresee that project this year. And it's just a way for me to kind of use my talents because I've done a degree, I've got all this experience, and I almost feel like I'm very blessed and it's time for me to give back to a community. And what better way to give back to my home country,
Right. Well, and definitely once you get that started and stuff, let's see about getting you back on the show so we can talk more about that too when you can actually talk
Yeah.
about it. Because I think
Yeah.
there'd be a lot of people that would definitely benefit from that, and it sounds like it's a really, really good idea and a really good program that is needed in this world.
Yes. I definitely, I always said that if when I actually get to my full potential, I can't enjoy it myself. I have to give back because that it's just my process of how I work. If you take any of like, I'm very self-help involved as well because I've come from a place of struggle and depression that self-help really helps me to grow and be better and everything like that. And what's great is this is something that's very important, is community is one of the factors in your life that you should always have. You should always have a community nearby that you can give to. I am a giver. I'm a natural giver. I give of my heart and soul. So it's a no-brainer. And to be honest with you, yes, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot that I have to do. But I'm like, it's okay. I can handle it. I'm young. I'm breathing. I can do it.
Yeah, no, right now the effort and the work that you put into not just what you do, but your community, I agree. It makes a big difference later on down the road, and it makes a huge impact on those that follow you in the future. Speaking of future, I wanted to really talk real quick about the youth, the younger entrepreneurs, those that are like, I have this great idea. I want to start my own business. I want to, you know, take what I know and I want to really share it with people, but I don't know where to start. What would you say to the new young entrepreneurs that aren't really sure which direction to get started on? How should they start? Where should they go?
Ask yourself what you love doing. Um, I like to almost do a little like meditation where I close my eyes and I go back to think of any childhood memory of when I'm the happiest. What am I doing? Where am I? And that technique really goes to a place of obviously childlike. And when you're childlike, you've got no boundaries. You don't care, right? You're just like you're free, your imagination's wild. That's where you can go. And that would be my advice is what do you love to do right now? If that changes in 5 years' time, it's okay because when you're young, it's going to change 10 times over anyway. But if you find out what you love doing now and really focus on what you're actually good at and really block out external people and opinions because the only thing that's going to stop you is you listening to those external opinions. Know that if you have a goal you can achieve it, but know what you love first and then you can action it because you can say okay, what then you can go from a place of what do I love and who do I admire and where do I want to be? Then you can just start mapping up how you're going to get there. Stephen Levy actually he said to me, it's about knowing your end destination and your beginning destination, which is completely true. The rest is you can figure it out, right? There's people for that, no problem. So definitely know what you love.
Yeah, totally. The words that you speak, I'm expecting you to be writing a book here soon and publishing that because the amount of information that you have is so important and it's just golden. And I hope you consider doing something like that because that's something that a lot of people could definitely benefit from. Um, Ladies and gentlemen, if you are just now jumping into this part of the show, we are talking to Miss Kiff, who, again, as I mentioned earlier, is a the founder of Kiff Media Hub and a female entrepreneur. She has got so much experience in this, and she really knows her stuff. And I am just so excited that we can continue talking with Miss Kiff today. So, Miss Kiff, before I get into more tips and pointers, we keep talking a little bit about the whole concept of networking, and you've mentioned Protect quite a bit. Um, and which, for those that aren't familiar with Protect, it is an amazing entrepreneur networking group that even I am part of, and we just love it so much. But with the idea of networking as an entrepreneur, what are some of the key benefits and why should entrepreneurs seek out some sort of group to build a network like this?
Ooh, there's so many benefits, but in terms of networking, for me personally, it's nice to have one of my goals is I wanted to find people last year who I can resonate with, who are on my playing field. Okay, because as an entrepreneur, especially as a modern day entrepreneur, people don't know, like, people think you're crazy, people think you're living a dream that's a myth. Okay, and what's great is having surround yourself by entrepreneurs in the same similar field is so much power, because if you're falling off your bandwagon, or seriously, life can take over. Okay, as an entrepreneur, life can seriously take over. I am definitely one of those people where life can take over. I had it all last year. Okay,
Yeah.
but what's amazing is knowing that, okay, one more time, I need to get internet. I need to get internet so I can get back on these live calls, that I can come. They do like with this networking group Explore Protect. We've got every Wednesday there's a networking training, sorry, a training network, and then on once a month there's this massive group coming together, and it really just builds up your confidence. Like, I watched a video on my Instagram, which was only from October last year, and I was just like, whoa, we have all grown so much. And to reflect back in literally 3 months time, I was just like, this is powerful. And also, we are very intelligent people, right? The benefits of being with a network is that your intellect grows. Like, I am so stimulated by conversation. I feel like I am empowered. And another thing is, in business, you if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong freaking room. Okay, so by having this amount of people in this particular room, really just expands your brain and your potential, and you really go from amateur to professional in seconds with a networking group. Personally, that's how I've developed, because I'm just now in business mode all the time. Like, I love it. It's such
Yeah.
a passion of.
Well, and I think that motivation is definitely something that a lot of people um, they don't even think about. But once they actually start getting that motivation, it is a huge power driver in keeping you going, because there are times in our professional and just our social and life fields, we encounter situations where it just knocks us down, knocks the wind out of us. And I myself, I've always had that moment in time where it's like, what am I doing? Can I even do this anymore? Should I even try? And having that network really is a great opportunity to remind you that you are important and that you are needing to keep going because you can do this and all that kind of stuff.
Exactly, I agree. I definitely I have been on the other side, where there's been a few entrepreneurs within the group that's actually relied on me, where I've just been like, casually, I'm like, what's going on with you today? Do you want, like, your potential is everything. Like, you can do this, and a lot of the time we just need someone. We are humans, we need to interact with humans. And what's been really refreshing is, you almost forget that the world is in a chaotic state, where you're not ignorant, but you can live a little in a way where you've got a bit of hope. And connecting, we were all from around the world. Come on, Jeff's in freaking Nevada, and I'm in South Africa now, was in London. It's such a great thing that the world is small in a way where we can be closer together. We can share the same problems. It's so important to have a network, and I highly recommend it for sure. And if you do it correctly, in a way where you're not going to network to get a sale, but you're going to network just to listen and to learn. Um, oh, wow, like, it's sharing so many tips and tricks, and people just discussing about you and getting too interested to know you as a business. It really just, you almost stunned with the fact, you're like, wow, someone's actually interested in what I am. Like, this is so refreshing. It's such a refreshing experience. I love it.
Yeah, totally. We're talking with Miss Kiff, business coach, female entrepreneur, media developer, and it's just been such an amazing conversation so far. But now I want to kind of get into a little bit of if you'd be willing to share some free advice, some free tips to our listeners who are entrepreneurs, What are some of the things? Let's maybe talk a little bit about um, uh, managing your time as business owners, entrepreneurs. Life gets crazy, as you mentioned, especially like last year. We all had a reality check that things can get out of hand really fast. What are some advice, some tips on how to manage your time and your life?
Okay, so um, before you manage your time in your life, you really have to self reflect. Um, you really need to know yourself as a person, because what I found is sabotaging is your downfall. Sabotaging, procrastinating, and your bad habits. Once you can sort that out, then the rest is kind of easy, to be honest. Um, Definitely face your shadows, face demons, because those are going to be your downfall. And when it comes to scheduling your time, so you have to know how much time you spend in different areas of your life before you even get to business. Because something that I realized where partying was a very massive 80% of my life, like I was eat, sleep, party. But when you become an entrepreneur, you can't, and especially when you become an older entrepreneur, let's put it that way. When you're still young, you've got the energy to do it. I'm only turning 30, which is quite young still. But
Oh
even
man,
then,
I'm ready to grab my walker. Then okay. Oh,
but even then, you can't do it all. Okay, that's one thing that you need to realize. You can't do it all, and I definitely tried to do it all. And last year it was too much. I was trying to have two businesses plus work part time plus do a degree. And then still had time to maybe have a drink in between. It was just not serving me at all. So know which key areas are serving you. And this is a little bit of a maturity step, because, and when I say maturity, it doesn't matter if you're 21 or 50, it's still a mature step, because that's what I had to do for myself. And that's why I kind of needed a network, because surrounding yourself by different people will keep you accountable. Where most of my friends at the time were party animals, which is cool. Like, I'm happy for you, but I don't want to party all the time, because I need my energy to put back in my business. Then, what's super value is having your end goal in mind. Okay, so I've got actually a YouTube video about this, about goal setting. And as simple as it sounds, it's the most powerful tool. So know what you're working for. So you can have an end goal for the year and work your way down. But if that's too much for you, you can maybe just set some short-term goals, so a month in advance. And start by going, okay, I want to make £100, 20,000 rand, no, 2,000 rand, 2,000 rand at the end of the month. How am I going to make that? Okay. You break it down into weekly goals and then into daily goals. So by actioning the daily goals, you get to see your return on investments. And again, this is all can be lingo to you, but I got all of this on my Facebook group and on my YouTube channel if you want to know more, as an hour interview is not going to cover it all. But know your return on investments, and know that if you monitor yourself daily, and what I like to do is I do reflections. Okay. I've also got a manifestation challenge, and this is really good actually for time management. I Every night I say to myself what went right and how can I improve the next day. So what happens is when you know you've got your daily actions. Say you have to create 10 leads per page and make one sale in order to get that amount. You can then see, okay, cool. Well, Facebook wasn't giving me a lot of time. And also, half the afternoon, I was watching TV all the time. What can I do tomorrow? So even though you might not be perfect that day, try to do better the next day and the next day and the next day. Eventually, you will see when you shift your patterns and your behaviors to serve you in the correct way, in a time management way, then you will get your return on investment, meaning you will achieve your 2,000 Rand, £100 at the end of the month. But you really need to trial that and constantly work at it. And also give yourself a break. Like, don't always be, for me, I like to nap. And that's something that I love to do. Okay. I am someone who can work from, if I wake up in the morning 10 to 6, if that happens, it usually happens in South Africa because the sun wakes me up. But I basically will work and then I'll take a bit of a nap and then I might work till midnight in the evening. Like, I set my own rules. But if I love napping, why should I take that away from me? As long as I'm hitting my daily goals, then it's fine. So keep doing what you love, but just balance it.
That's awesome advice. So, switch it up a little bit. Um,
Okay.
okay, we're talking about time management, but how do you handle client management? Because there are times where there's that stigma that the customer is always right. There's also those customers that you can never get a hold of, that you kind of even question, is it worth your time to work with them? Um, First of all, I guess, how do you perceive customers? How do you approach a customer, and what do you think about them? And then how do you actually work with those clients and those customers to ensure that they have what they're looking for, but you as well don't bring your business down to the point where it can't operate anymore?
Yeah. So actually, I had a really good lesson happen to me last year.
Oh, do tell.
Um, yes. I attracted a client who didn't really know about social media, but he uh, wanted me to kind of take care of his social media for him. He wanted more leads and stuff like that. And I said to him, okay, cool, what do you want? So usually with clients, I always want to know your end goal to work your way back so I can make sure that I'm achieving your end goal. And I do loads of things in between. So unfortunately, he wasn't willing to invest the money. So I said, I can only do so much for this much. And he said, that's fine. But then he didn't trust me. And what happened is I felt like I was back in the corporate 9 to 5 role. And I was like, wait a second, I didn't go self employed to have this attitude. Okay. And this is a big lesson here. Okay. And if I'm honest, it was also a big lesson to me, not just for the client perspective, but for me as a business owner, is I didn't define what I wanted in the beginning and what I needed. But now I've got that clear expectation with the client. So, number one, my type of social media that I do is not, I'm just going to do your mandate posts and you're going to become a millionaire. That's not what I do. Because you get a social media um, person who manages your account to post everything, but they don't come up with all the cool ideas. They come up with just making sure that your social media looks consistent. Okay. There is a strategist in place, me, who goes with analytics, constantly reviewing analytics, constantly reviewing strategies, constantly reviewing content so that we can work with assistants to produce and get your return of investment. So the value is here, number one. Do not be shy to tell a client. You have to ask them the right questions in your first meet cute. For me, I always say, look here, let's do a business meeting so I can see what your end goal is and see if I can come up with a strategy to get there. I know what key strategy tools I use so I can see if it aligns. And I will say to my clients, I'm creative, I'm innovative. When I get bored, that's when I want to leave. Okay. I know who I am as a person and I know what drives me. So with clients, you need to not be scared. Firstly, they're not always right. Okay. That is a myth because you know what you want for your business, especially if they're coming and looking for a service and they're not the expert in it. You almost have to educate them to be, this is what I do. Um, Another thing is, uh, clients can also come across as very cheapskate. So they want everything for nothing. And you need to be able to go, I'm sorry, if you want everything for nothing, you can outsource that somewhere else. Knowing your value is what you need to bring into a meeting to deal with clients. Don't be scared of them. Seriously, don't be scared. And don't be scared to get to speak up for yourself and then If they leave the building, who cares? They weren't your client. Like, um, I've got this amazing, oh, I don't have my book to hand, but it's such an amazing affirmations that I have with my manifestation is, I'll try to remember it. I attract my ideal clients that I deserve, that give me value. That is what is my mantra for every day now. And it works because it really goes, wait a second, like I am valuable. I'm amazing. Like I don't need to have that because as soon as you have that, you have drama and chaos. And another top tip is I'm working with you, I'm not working for you. That is my approach.
Wow, that's something that not everybody even thinks about. That last bit of information, and it's true because as you're working with clients, and each one has a different need. Sometimes, if you are working for those clients instead of with, imagine what it's going to be like when you have like 15 different clients on your calendar, working for 15 different clients at the same time. That really can just add to your stress level alone. Like, oh my gosh, but I need to work with my clients and make sure that they are happy, that they have the service that I can offer to them. But at the same time, you are not at their beck and call all the time, because otherwise, you're right, they get used to that, and they're gonna have those expectations. And I love the fact that you're pointing out that you need to set your boundaries right up front. You are running a business, you have certain boundaries, and if they are legitimate, they will respect those boundaries. That's, something that I know even me as an entrepreneur, when I first started my own business, I had a hard time doing that. It was always like, "Well, what are you comfortable doing? What are you comfortable paying? What are you comfortable with this?" Instead of me saying, "This is what my service is and this is what I offer." Yes, you're gonna get people gawking at that, but maybe they're not the right clients for you.
No, exactly. Exactly. And I definitely think it's something that also don't take too many clients on if you know you can't. Something so think two things is what I serve is um, I have my business courses, and for those entrepreneurs who is like me in the beginning, where you want to learn it and do it not all by yourself, but you can't afford to outsource as yet, and you need to kind of know that. That's why I developed this Kiff Media Hub, is that it's a resources platform where you can constantly go to once you're starting out, and whenever you can leverage it, you can then distribute to who you can outsource. But um, I've put in my business now, where yes, I've got the business course and I've got the monthly membership, but in terms of myself, I still work with my own clients, but I've decided to keep it to a very specific few people. I won't now go have 200 clients because I can't manage 200 clients by myself. Like, I will go nuts. Um, and I have decided, because of my experience from last year, I only want to work with the clients that I most resonate with. And if I can really hit that goal, because if I can't hit that expectation, to be honest, I'm disappointing myself more than the client, because I'm very hard on myself. That's just who I am. My work ethic is through the roof. So when I don't deliver, or when I feel bad about when I deliver, it really upsets me, because it goes, that's not who my authenticity. I'm very a truthful person, even to myself. I can't lie to myself. So I go, ooh, get me out of the situation. So I've decided that's what I need to do. So it's again that setting boundaries. But eventually, when I can open my media agency, I can, grow and develop to make sure that I've got a crew of people to have that. But this is where I am now. I can't handle loads of clients.
Are there any secret weapons or tools that you use, that you have in your bag of tools and tricks, that many entrepreneurs don't even think about? They may not realize that you can use this, or this is a great resource that you would like to share with people that are trying to grow their business?
Yes, definitely. Thanks for that. Uh, Niche, hyper focus on niche, and even more so trending niches, to be fair. Keywords. Um, let's go back quickly to niche though before I go to keywords. Niche, you have to really know this because it is will be very easy to market yourself online and to know which platforms you go into. A lot of people really just start with, oh, I'm good at photography or I'm good at sewing, but you really have to go, who am I actually targeting if I'm going to be doing this? So this is very important. Then keywords. Keywords, do not make content if it is not serving a keyword, because the online world at the moment is so convoluted with people. And if you can't stand out and you're not on the first page of Google or YouTube or Pinterest or Facebook, Instagram, no one cares about you and no one will find you. So keywords is so important. You and it's do you know what's great about keywords? It's free marketing for you.
That's a good
Powerful
point.
people. It is free marketing. You do not have to pay to get keywords. All you have to do is research your market, find a gap in the market. This is where niche and keywords come together. So find the gap in the market and really then start content producing. When I say find a gap in the market, find a problem that is not solved already. Okay, now this is hard to do because,
Yeah.
like, even myself, I've only now, I've jumped on something on my on YouTube. It's Eventbrite, and Eventbrite's got this massive scandal happening, and I'm doing a whole YouTube series about it because no one's doing a video on it. So it's a great way for me to find a gap in the market to talk about, which is relative to my business, which is pretty cool. But the last time I only did that was an app that I reviewed, which was Bigo, and it's constantly giving me loads and loads of subscribers passively for my YouTube channel. So monetizing, that's gonna earn me mega bucks, which is sick. That's what we want.
Yeah,
But
totally.
it's about really finding yeah, those keywords and knowing your end goal. Like, I keep going back to this, but seriously, this is my go-to strategy for the year. The year is end goals are so important because you know exactly where you're going. Um, and authenticity. Start a YouTube channel. Seriously, I'm not even joking. Like, start a YouTube channel because people love to see your life. Loads of people going from watching television, paying for subscription. There's only so many Netflix you can watch, to be honest. And then you've Netflixed it out because trust me, I am a binge watcher. If there's a series, I'm staying up till 4 o'clock in the morning and finishing it. And if it has to be 6, 7, 8 seasons, the week it's done. And then I need to find new content. And yes, I do this around my business too. So the great thing is that people want to get to know you, as like, people need to believe in your personal brand and who you are. And what better way to get that delivered via video? You don't have to spend writing loads of stuff, but it's a great game to make passive income and open opportunities for you. This is why my go-to strategy is YouTube, because eventually I can see myself going to many places just because of my personality shining through. One thing I learned about myself is, for instance, the old way of working is usually you fill in a CV, and CVs go, no, no, no. Maybe this qualification is cool, and then it chucks it out. But I remember I'm always was, please get me to that interview because I want them to see my personality. Because to be honest with you, I can't articulate how awesome I am on a piece of paper. Like, it just doesn't make sense. But when you do this in video content, it's just like, woo, like, no more CVs. This is who I am. It's so brilliant. So Yeah, my go-to strategies is definitely for niche keywords and video.
Awesome. And I know you actually have a video that talks a little bit about how to also increase your number of followers that you have on those videos. I thought that was a really interesting video to watch, and I encourage all of you to subscribe to Miss Kiff's YouTube channel and listen to that. Listen to all of the ones that she's put up there. She's got a lot of very useful information that you're going to definitely want to have in your repertoire of knowledge. We only have about 10 minutes left. So, Ms. Kiff, is there any other bit of information that you just want to spill out there for our listeners today that you think would be useful for them?
Yeah, knowing that you have to just start, just start. Um, when it comes to anything strategy wise, I would say I'm a very open person. So if you have a question, do just pop on my channel and go, hey, Tasha, Miss Kiff, how do you do this? I'm likely to then put it into my contact list to produce a video about it. My whole channel is to serve you, if you feel like you don't know something, then let me know. Another thing is affiliate marketing. So passive income is another something that I want to discuss quickly before we leave. Is passive income is such a tool, like such a tool that every entrepreneur should have alongside the business. Why? Okay. Patricia Bright, she is a YouTuber and she did a whole video about how much income she made for the year. And with her passive income, meaning her advertising on YouTube and affiliate marketing, she made around $101,000. Same thing with her business and her revenue in terms of product sales, like digital products. She made also similar $100,000. And then in terms of sponsorship with her YouTube, she made another $100,000. Okay. Thing is, she tripled her income. She tripled her income in 1 year. If she just did digital products, she would have had a third of that money. And that's what's really driving me in this force is having multiple streams of revenue. So affiliate marketing is one. You can watch again a video on my channel, but affiliate marketing, you find something you love and you can, if you're buying it already, you might as well sell it so that you can have that income coming back to you because you can sell something easily when you're using it. That's what my stance of affiliate marketing is for me. Could be different for you if you decide. Know that digital products, create an ebook. If you are a super expert in self-help books or how to build a lamp, for instance, or van conversions, whatever, is make an ebook, sell it at £10, which is 200. Sorry, we've also got South Africa, but mostly South African listeners. 200 Rand, sell it online. You can make passive income. There will be someone interested to know what is happening. Then Google AdSense. Google AdSense is basically they have adverts where you can place it on a blog or on your YouTube channel. And this is why I highly recommend having a blog and having a YouTube channel because it's two ways of making incomes passively. And with YouTube, you're just going to repurpose content on blogging. And yeah, I've got loads more of that amazing strategies. But definitely passive income is the way forward. And literally, if you put yourself out of this bubble of, oh, I can just make income with what I'm good at, you can make income in so many different ways. And also sponsorship. Don't be scared if you're all of a sudden your YouTube blows up or your Instagram or Facebook. Don't be scared to reach out. Like that's something I'm gonna do now. I'm going to reach out to a few people and say, how can we work together or how can I be sponsored? Because you could get paid £2,000, 40,000 Rand just by doing a sponsored video. So know that ask. The worst they can say is no. Guess what? Boo hoo, you try again. Like it's so easy to do it.
Yeah. Wow, that's actually really, really good advice. Um, there's a lot of people that also talk about, you need, in order to get something, you need to give something for free. Where do you stand on that? And if you do believe in that, what kind of free stuff would you actually suggest you be okay with parting with?
So I do think freebies is always a good thing because you use freebies in a way of a marketing tool. So you can do it for market research, where if you've designed a product that you can give it out to a test audience to get feedback from them. Testimonials sell more than um, yourself bragging about your product. um, Look at all the copywriters and look at the interview I just did with Marlon. And then with giving a freebie out, well, it's great for lead generation. So I tend to do, say, for instance, I do on YouTube. Oh, very important factor about this. YouTube could close their doors in any minute. And this is why giving out a freebie into a landing page and getting someone's email is very important, because if YouTube shuts down their doors, Facebook shuts down their doors, Google AdSense shut down their doors, where are you left? Okay. Always get an email address, because that is your direct contact to a person. So a freebie is good for lead generation with that, but don't just give them something free and then advertise them something else. You have to be very disciplined with your email contacts. Like, just use and abuse them. Make sure that you are giving back to them of what they signed up originally. So if they signed up for content planning, you're not selling like YouTube and whatever. You actually are giving them, oh, organization, social media strategies. So it's very relative. And freebies are great. Like, I love freebies. Loads of freebies is good for entrepreneurs that are starting out. Like, my massive thing, and this is why I have a Facebook group, is because I know what it's like to be an entrepreneur. In the beginning, you don't have the money, but you've got the potential. And I want you to have the potential to go forward without being blocked by the money aspect. So that's where I started with freebies. But don't give too many out. Know your value.
Yeah, this is a good point. Yeah, you can get a little crazy with it. It's fun to give
Yeah.
out free stuff, but it's also fun to actually get paid for the stuff
Yes,
that you
it's way
do.
better.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, again, this is Tasha Cole, aka Miss Kiff, that we've been talking with. She has been sharing so much amazing information, and I really hope that this hour has been filled with, useful stuff that you could use for your own growth and your business, and just being an entrepreneur in general. Miss Kiff, is there any contact information? How can people find you online? Where can they follow you? Feel free to just like share with us how we can reach you and follow you and stuff.
Great, thank you so much. My website is misskiff.blog, and Misskiff is spelled MISSKIFF blog, and you can get me on YouTube. Just to be honest, if you go into Google and you Google Miss Kiff, you can find everything there. My SEO is really good because I've done it like that. But you can find me on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Kiff Media Hub as well is on Facebook and Instagram. And on LinkedIn, my profile is Tasha Cole. But if you Google Tasha Cole with Miss Kiff, it's likely to come out as well. I haven't changed that hyperlink yet, so sorry. But yeah, I also welcome anybody that's on your journey. I have a free YouTube masterclass, which is misskiffhub.ck/free YouTube, well, no, YouTube masterclass, sorry. And that is a great introduction to how you can start to go on your journey with YouTube. And I also have a course as well, but that you'll have to look at my YouTube channel to get those details.
Definitely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you've been listening to the Entrepreneur Life Show, and it has been an honor to be able to speak with Miss Kiff today. We encourage you to take a look at all the stuff that she just mentioned. Visit her YouTube channel. I know I'm already subscribed to it, and follow her. Say hi to her. She is definitely somebody you want to have in your arsenal as becoming an entrepreneur yourself. Thank you so much, Miss Kiff, for joining us today. It has been a pleasure to talk with you.
Thank you so much, Jeff. I'm so happy to finally at this moment. But also, I'm very grateful that you got to interview me as well under the circumstances. So thank you. And again, David, I don't know how you would have done it, but we definitely tried our best here.
Absolutely, and the legacy continues. Thanks
Always.
to Dawood, as he would always like to end things. Thank you very much, my friend, for
Yeah,
talking
my
with me
friend.
today. And
This is awesome.
to Dawood, we appreciate you and we miss you, my friend. So, on that note, we're going to go ahead and end up the show this episode. And thank you again for joining us today. Have a wonderful afternoon. Have a wonderful week, and enjoy your life. Thank you.
Thank you.